Busco la libertad, porque mi aspiración a ella siempre será diferente en cada etapa de mi vida. Porque mi criterio va cambiando según mi conocimiento. Decidí entrar a la universidad libre para adquirir las herramientas necesarias para poder realizar mis sueños.
Y es que no solo estudio por mí, ahora tengo una responsabilidad social que cumplir. Entre más aprendo, más puedo contribuir en la solución de los problemas que aquejan a nuestra sociedad.
La libertad es más que un pensamiento individualista. Es formar parte de un crecimiento colectivo en función de la igualdad, la justicia social, el pluralismo y la autonomía. Busco ser libre para transformar realidades, para ayudar desde mi área de conocimiento a quienes lo necesitan.
Me gusta pensar que todo proyecto ha empezado con un sueño, que todas las grandes cosas que se han hecho a lo largo de la historia empezaron desde un pensamiento libre. He comprendido que la libertad comienza siempre desde la voluntad de querer mejorar, querer aspirar. Mi universidad me reta constantemente, me abre nuevos caminos y horizontes que cambian mi percepción del mundo y que de alguna forma u otra me vuelven más crítica y a la vez más humana.
Mi universidad no solo es un espacio para crecer como persona, sino que a la par adquiero nuevas competencias que me ayudan a desenvolverme mejor en el mundo académico y profesional. Por suerte, mi universidad comprende y apoya al estudiante para que pueda permanecer y concluir sus estudios, a pesar de las dificultades que se puedan presentar durante su recorrido por la vida universitaria.
Me encanta que haya actividades que enriquecen mi experiencia universitaria. En conjunto enriquecen mi espíritu, despiertan emociones, crean ambientes y escenarios propicios para una inolvidable convivencia con mis compañeros, ahora amigos.
Para mí, el paso por la universidad es un camino con grandes descubrimientos. Entre más aprendo, me voy dando cuenta que todo está interconectado, que mis acciones, como las de todos, sí hacen la diferencia. Que trabajar en equipo es fundamental para poder lograr la eficiencia en todo propósito. Que hoy más que nunca todos somos uno mismo a pesar de nuestras diferencias.
Busco una universidad con experiencia y respaldo, que me ofrezca herramientas para desarrollarme como persona y como profesional. Un proyecto social hecho universidad. La Universidad Libre abre sus puertas a todos los que buscamos ser libres para realizar nuestros sueños, a todos los que buscamos la justicia social y la verdad, a todos los que buscamos la libertad para realizar nuestros propósitos con esfuerzo y dedicación. ¿Y tú, por qué buscas ser libre?
Universidad Libre, una filosofía social hecha universidad.
Estamos al aire.
Okay, we are here again. Welcome back. Sorry, we were a little bit late, but some technical issues. Okay, after a wonderful afternoon with our international speakers from Honduras, Costa Rica, Panamá, Colombia, and El Salvador, we are going to have now our students from the Faculty of Engineering and the Faculty of Education, right? So we are going to have two presentations today. First of all, we are going to have the students from the Faculty of Engineering David Leonardo Ruiz and Nicolás Angarita. And after that, we are going to listen to Daniela Reyes and Johanna Ruiz from the Faculty of Education, right? Professor Carlos Carrillo, would you like to introduce your students, please?
Well, thank you very much. Well, it's been a pleasure to see you here again in this incredible event. Well, Nicolas Angarita, he is part of the Faculty of Engineering, for short, and he has even had the opportunity of being abroad thanks to, well, his dedication. He loves working with all of these kind of virtual platforms, and now he is going to share with all of us here about what we are being working on, the research group BrainIt. Thank you for being with us, Nicolas Angarita. And well, we are all yours, Nicolas. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, teacher. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Perfect. Okay, I'll start the presentation. So I will share the screen, but I need them. I can share the screen right now. Okay, I have disabled the share screen option, so I don't know if you can enable me the option.
Sure, we're going to ask Julian to help us with the screen. Could you help us, Julian, with the option?
Well, while he's helping us, and let me see that. I'm very happy you invited me to this, to make this presentation. It's actually my first presentation, so I'm very, very happy. I'm very nervous too. Well, what I'm going to present is two products that we are making in these research groups, BrainIt. Those two products, we have been working so hard with them, though both are mobile applications, and I will explain you in system engineering view. In fact, I'm system engineering student. I will explain you how is the process to make these applications, to build them, and everything that you have to take in mind while doing this kind of work. So I'm very happy to be in here, and now I can share my screen. So let me share it. I will start the presentation here in PowerPoint. Just give me a second and we got it. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me a second. Okay, now you're seeing the presentation? Everything is okay?
Yes, Nicholas.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
BrainIt. Okay. How are we going to start? We're going to start talking about the problem. What is the problem? The need of foreign language at a professional level, okay? So professional level, very important as we as engineers. We really need to upgrade our skills with the English language, and not only the English language, also probably French language or other languages. So this is the problem, or this is the point that we are going to take, or why we did this application at this research group. So important of the professional level of the English or French or other languages, so foreign languages. Faculty of Engineering, we have industrial engineering, environmental engineering, mechanical engineering, and system engineering. We must be at V1 level at the end of our career. We have one fact here. 39% in Prueba Saber, 39% of students obtain an A2 level, and 33% of students B1 level. So only 33% of students are actually in the percentage, or in the percentage of the skills of English that we must have at the end of the career. Prueba saber is an exam that we made at the end of the career. So this is kind of a problem because 39% of these students are A2 level. So we have the challenge of Colombians is actually that to have a very good English level, and they are not like studying, they are not getting this the importance of this level of English. So we don't get it. We are not so worried about learning English. So this is a preoccupation that we have. It's a goal, but also it's a tool for engineering. We as engineers really need to have these skills of English. Why? A lot of information on the internet actually is in English, and the best of that information I can assure that is in English. So it's very important to get this language as engineering. What I have here, ICTs. So information and communication technology. We have this concept, everyone knows this concept of ICTs. And we know that we can use that as a tool to make some kind of information systems or communication systems that can help that percentage of people that can't learn English or are reaching the end of the career and they are not getting that V1 level that we have to point. Managing information and aiming communication. That's very important. Who seeks to explore the variables emerging the academic context. What variables? Classroom issues. So what we have here, some classroom issues. Students are not getting so interested on this language or on learning this language. So that's actually the problem of the classrooms, the problem that teachers are trying to seek, the problem that me as a student can see in the context of a classroom. And what FLAB is doing about this, what Braining is going to do about this. So we made an application. We made an application named FLAB. What is FLAB? Mobile application created to support languages classroom through a series of topics and activities. It's actually available on Play Store. Let's see more about this application. Here now I'm going to speak about the development of this application, like the system engineering point of this application. Not actually the, I'm not actually going to use some context, some words or context like academics or something like that, but engineering and system engineering. So we're going to talk about that. Why we made FLAB? We made FLAB because some class activities can be done through mobile applications. As I was saying, some activities in classroom or some students are very happy when using application. Examples, I can give you examples of my personal experiences in the classroom. We really like to get some activities in our cell phones. For example, I remember a lot of teachers using, for example, Kahoot. Kahoot is a very good application and we enjoy using it. We enjoy using it and learning it in the classroom. So that's why we made this application, because we know that students really enjoy using this kind of application, this kind of tools in the classroom to learn English or to learn other language like French in the case of Universidad Libre. Students generally enjoy using mobile devices during classroom because of the changing of paradigm. We have been using a lot of board in the classroom. And we really like when that paradigm changes and we can get some other tools to work in the classes. What does it involve? For this first version, we have launched already the first version of this application. The application provides a series of activities on 7 different topics. We started with 7 different topics. How we chose those topics? Well, it was with teacher Carlos. He chose 7 main topics, and we made some activities of those topics, such as family, days of the week, professions, etc. About the development. Okay, how we develop this application. The development of the first version of FLab contemplates the main functionalities of the product. As I said, the 7 main topics. It could be considered an MVP. What is an MVP? Is an minimum viable product. So it's the core of this application that we have launched. Of the idea of the application, okay. It consisted in 4 phases. So the development can be consistent in the phases: analysis, design, development, and implementation. Let's talk about them. First, starting with analysis. We researched the problem we wanted to solve. As the start of this presentation, as we say, the problem that we are going to solve, the problem is that students really like or really enjoy working with this application in the school. We have a problem in engineering students that are almost engineering, they don't have the B1 level skill that we need for our career, and they don't get the importance of this of the domain of the English level for his career. So we researched the problem of the problem we wanted to solve, to analyze the possibility of implementing a tool to support the learning methodology for the French class. In this case, FLab is for French. We have another application that I will explain later that is with English. We started with French in order to help the students to reinforce their knowledge. This is also an important reference for the English version, which is an ongoing project. Okay, what about the design? In the design, we started doing the requirements to obtain their definition and specification of the requirements, creation of models, data structures, general architecture of the application, user interface, very important, the user interface. Why very important user interface? Actually, I've seen a lot of applications in the context of teaching or studying that are very poor at the interfaces, the user experience. As students, we really like mobile applications that looks good and that are very easy to use. So user experience. So user interface, we made a lot of effort making this application looks very good. And programming language. So we used, in this case, JavaScript to program this app with the framework React Native and make it hybrid. This first version that we have already launched is only available on Android, but we are going to have them on iOS also. So development. The system components are created, so we started coding. This is like the part of coding. Started creating components, code models are materialized, the user interfaces are created, the multimedia content is obtained, and virtual objects are created. Very important, multimedia and virtual objects. So in this application, we include a lot of multimedia content, audio, video, images, and also virtual objects. So that was the process that we followed to develop this app. The last step is the implementation. We actually, as I was saying, released a beta of this app. You can get it on Google Play. I will really like to see you using this app, leaving us some comments about this app. And some of the screenshots that we saw in the presentation are actually screens of the app. So this is the part of FLab. Now we are going to continue with Brainit. Brainit is actually in develop stage. So we have the idea, we have the analysis part of this application also. We have some new like components that we're going to add at this application. And the main of this application is teaching English, Brainit. So in Brainit, also interfaces, very good interfaces for students, very good user experience. We have here some videos, we're gonna have some lessons also. We're gonna have activity lists. This application is more complex, it's gonna be more bigger than the FLab. We have some grammar activities also, and a lot of topics that we're going to include in this app. Other thing that we are developing on this app is virtual reality. As I said, we as students really like new experiences. We are kind of tired of the board. I'm not saying that we should remove the board, but we should use some tools, that can be that we can enjoy by, well, staying in a classroom. So we are gonna implement virtual reality at this app. We are gonna implement some activities with more interactions. And this is the concept of what we are doing in this research group, Brainit. So this was my presentation. This was the last step of this presentation. I'll be now is part of questions. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If you have any questions about the development, if you want to get in deep of that process of development. So now I think it's time to questions. I don't know if I made my 15 minutes fast. I didn't have the time here, but let's start with the questions. Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Nicholas. And well, you've been the pioneer of all of this. Thanks a lot. You are really smart. And well, thanks because you are interested in working on the app development, but also your English, like the language part, the company, which we are working like on it together. Well, yes, we do have a question here. Well, let me say here. The first one is, well, what is React Native and how to develop programming skills in regards of this?
I like that question. I like that question because it's a very technician question. So React Native is a framework made in JavaScript. So with JavaScript, you can develop some apps. So I don't know the pronunciation of these hybrid apps, like apps that can be run on iOS and Android with only one source code. React Native, so is a framework. For example, you start developing an app, for example, in Android Studio, so that's called native apps. What's the problem with native apps? The native apps will only run on native. That means only run on iOS or on Android. But you don't make this app for both in just one source code. So here we have React Native that with just one source code in JavaScript, you can make this application run on both platforms. That's React Native. And how I did get these skills? Well, in the university, we have in one semester, we have one class of mobile applications. This class is with Android Studio, so it's more like researching on the internet, like the interest of making this kind of apps that get me the knowledge to making this. So it's like, yeah, more research. And as I said, a lot of the data, lot of the information is in English. A lot of the tutorials to learn React Native are in English. So very important English to get this kind of knowledge.
Well, there is another question here. Thank you. Like, well, people are asking about the challenges of working with virtual reality. Yes, and voice
About
recognition. About virtual reality. How to include virtual reality within this?
Well, that's another point of React Native, it has a component that you can develop virtual reality very simple. But if you want to like have a better virtual reality experience, you can use, for example, Unity. Unity is an engine that is very common to use to develop video games. It is also used to develop virtual reality. And what do you have to, or what you should have in mind when developing something in virtual reality? Well, you have to know about 3D objects, 3D modeling, and also, well, learning these tools that are actually very simple. Google has an SDK. An SDK is like a package of pre-built things that you can use in this and virtual reality, and Google has an SDK for virtual reality. So it's actually very simple. Is downloading this SDK, learning how to use this SDK and how to include this SDK on Unity, on a React Native. In this case, we are using React Native. So it's actually simple, some research, and actually there are a lot of components that are already built, and you only have to get them, to read the manual of those components and incorporate them in apps.
Well, there is another question here. Well, after these two apps, what are the plans for the future? What is coming then?
This question is about the research group. What is coming
Yes,
in the research group?
I think it is about the research group and your plans in regards of programming.
My plans in this research group, well, I'm also at the end of my career, so I want to leave the alpha version of FLab. Now I want to start the production version. What is the production version? Where people can download this app, rate the app, leave the comments. And right now we are at the beta. In the beta, we are only selecting some people to try the app, to get like the feedback of the app. And so I think I just want to release the app on production version and also release the app on iOS. So I think this is the future of these two apps, yeah. And teacher Carlos also has some plans for the for the future of the research group. I don't know if you can answer that part.
Maybe that's for another event. Well, today, now it is, well, thanks to you, like to your commitment. I would like to close up with one more question. Someone is asking here, if university user is needed, how can they get access to this? Maybe they arrive late.
If university is what?
If university user is needed, how they can download this app? How can they use it?
Okay, yes, you can. Well, I'll try to, I don't know if I can open here my, okay, let's open here. Okay, now you can go to Play Store and search FLab. There, the first option, FLab. You can download it and you can implement in your classes. Very simple. We have deployed. It is beta, but you can do it's an open beta, so you all of you can download it and start using it. That would be very important. If you leave us a comment, those comments are not going to appear here as other application because it's on beta, but we are going to receive those comments in a control panel. If you find something that want to add this application, you can write us. Here is all the information of the application. So yeah, here in the Google Play, you can download it, you can start using it, and I'll be very happy to to see if you are using this application.
Well, thank you very much, Nicholas, again, for being here with us. And now, Professor, Sandra Valencia, it's time to continue with our incredible event. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. And congratulations for the engineering faculty. Now we're going to listen to students from the Faculty of Education, and my colleague, Professor Clara Onatra, is going to introduce them. Professor Clara.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nicolas, for your great presentation. It was very interesting. People were very active on YouTube, so thank you so much. Now it's time for me to present a couple of students that belong to our research group, Didácticos, and specifically to our semillero. They are working a very interesting topic, which is flipped learning. So the name of the presentation that they are going to have today is Implementing Flipped Learning to Foster the English Writing Process in Pre-Service Language Teachers. So let's give a warm welcome to Daniela Reyes and Joanna Ruiz. Ladies, off you go.
Hello, everybody. John is going to start to share the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you listen to me with any echo, maybe? Or
Joanna, your sound is very low. Please check your sound.
is better? Do you
A
listen?
little.
Maybe there is echo?
There's no an echo, but your sound is very low, my dear.
Is better? Like this is better?
So, my dear.
And like this?
Yes, much better.
Okay.
You need to start your presentation. Exactly. Can we start right now?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, ladies.
Of course, okay. Hello, everyone. We are Joanna Ruiz and Daniela Reyes. Today, we are very excited because we are going to present our research work, which is entitled Implemented Flipped Learning to Foster English Writing Process in Pre-Service Languages Teachers. Our thesis advisor is Clara Onatra.
Hello, everyone. Do you listen to me?
Yes, dear. Perfectly.
Okay. Thank you. Well, our presentation has a structure of thesis, as you know. We are going to dive into the problem statement, the research questions. We are going to show you the population, the objectives. We are going to have the theoretical framework. And at the end, we are going to show you some partial conclusions because the research is currently near to conclude. So let's get it started.
Okay, problem statement. We initially recognized the problems from our own experience in developing English classes for the difficulties that our classmates presented during the activities. And that's how we realized the importance of writing skill in the teaching of English in Colombia. And according to the Education First, EF, English Literacy Index 2015, which analyzed 70 countries, Colombia ranks 57th. To support our observation and experience related to the problem, we consider necessary to make an interview to an intermediate English level teacher at Libre University, of course, who explained to us the main shortcomings or issues in the written productions of the students, mainly in the lack of structure and the use of logical connectors.
Well, another important thing to take into account into the problem statement is the lack of time for students. Nowadays, university students really need a lot of time because they have normally a job schedule and also a study schedule. And it's really difficult to accomplish their autonomous work. And it is a huge problem for university students. And now we are going to present you the population.
Okay, the population consists of 7 students who study in the night shift. They are pre-services teachers in intermediate English level at Libre University, specifically in the undergraduate program in foreign languages. Their age range is between 22 and 26 years old.
Well, taking in consideration the aspects exposed before, we propose the following research question. That is, how does flipped learning approach contribute to strengthen pre-service language teachers' process of writing academic essays? And it is supported with the following objectives.
The general objective that we are proposing in our research is analyze the impact of the implementation of the flipped learning approach on the pre-service teachers' writing process.
As you see before, our interest in this research was to accomplish the next specific objectives. The first one is identify pre-service teachers' perceptions in relation to writing. The second is apply the flipped learning pillars on the design of the implementation of activities. The pillars will be explained later, okay? And the third one is determine the pre-service teachers' evolution regarding writing after the implementation under the framework of flipped learning approach. Now, we are gonna talk about a research background that is in relation with flipped learning because it is one of the topics, one of the most important topics here in our research. For flipped learning, we found a thesis that is entitled The Impact of Flipped Learning on Fifth Graders Oral Production, done in 2018. And it shows that flipped learning enhances the autonomy in students from language classes, and also is really flexible and it's possible to work with music classes, as you can see it in the second research done in 2016. Now we are gonna see some information about the writing.
Okay, the background studies related to the writing process that we found fundamental to develop our research are two. These studies were chosen because they come very close to the structure of academic writing and essays that we want to teach to the students. We used the first one is entitled Flipping Your Writing Lessons, Optimizing Time in Your EFL Writing Classroom. And the second one is Difficulties Faced by the Undergraduate Students in the Process Writing Approach.
Well, we are going to start with the theoretical framework of our research. The first one is about flipped learning. The flipped learning approach is defined for us as a way to promote autonomy, because the main idea is that learners should have an interaction with the following class topic, and the teacher is who provides that information previously. Yes, the idea is to awake the interest in the next class. And that's why in network flipped learning in 2014, we have this concept that is defined as a pedagogical approach where direct instructions are focused on individual learning. learning, sorry. And to achieve that objective, it is necessary to take into account the 4 pillars. Those pillars are the flipped classroom, the learning culture, and the intentional contents, and at the end, the professional educator. All of them are in relation to the students have the possibility to choose the space to make their classes previously, and of course the teachers too. And the idea, for example, with the last pillar, that is the professional educator, the teacher is able to explain and develop activities in different contexts. And it's always with many activities in mind. It means that it's gonna be a teacher very proactive, always with a plan in mind. And now we are gonna talk about something really important and crucial for the virtuality.
So to give a quick contextualize how a class is implemented using flipped learning, we would like to use this diagram to make understand that initially the students have to get contact with the topic planned before the class through, of course, digital media, because they're going to take notes and they are going to generate questions for a further discussion or conversation in the next group class. And then they're going to complement what was learned during activities guided by the teacher using flipped learning activities through videos or applications.
And now the second theoretical framework is gonna be about the writing. For the writing process, it's necessary to clarify first that writing is currently associated with grammar, yes? Savage 1999 said that grammar is a skill that enables the competence and to develop to the other 4 areas of learning, yes? Reading, speaking, and all of that. It means that if a student learned to write, it would improve a lot the other language skill. Then we are focused on the concept of writing process, yes? As we know, the writing is a very complex skill, but Noonan showed us the process approaches, which are focused on the steps of write, something that is not common to teach in an English class because time and everything. And those steps are normally drafting, writing, and rewriting a text. It means that this approach is not searching the perfection, yes. The objective is to make the process an individual moment to produce, reflect, and discuss around the draft of a text. The idea is that the students are not going to copy any written model. The idea is that they enjoy the reading process.
Okay, the instructional design of the research consists of 3 applications. The first one was developed in a presential way because it was done before the pandemic situation, and the others were developed in a virtual way. The main instrument used or tool in the 3 applications was Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams, which was used in the last 2 applications. During the implementations, we prepared videos and activities using technology. Here we have a chart in which you can evidence, we can evidence too the day the topic presented and the link where you can find the video that we used and the tool used in each application.
Here we are going to show the video. Here we are going to show the video.
Just to show you a quick video, but yeah, just an example.
We don't listen, my dear Joanna.
Okay, so.
I think that you can stop sharing and then share again with the audio possibility available.
Okay.
The computer's audio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeks to show. Hello, everybody. Today we are going to talk about comparison and contrast essay. This presentation was made by Joanna Ruiz and Daniela Reyes. So let's start. What is a comparison and contrast essay? This kind of essay seeks to show similarities and differences related to two topics. So, for example, if we're going to talk about quarantine, we can take quarantine for teachers versus quarantine for students. The idea is to analyze, first of all, the main topic, because we're going to get the subtopics. For example, we can talk about Spotify versus... Okay, that was like an example.
Yes.
You have further evidence. Please continue.
Okay. Well, now, sorry. Yes, you then.
Okay, here we have some screenshots just to show you how we organized every application. There we have activities, the service, but we are going to talk about the data collection.
Well, for the data collection instruments, we use the pre-post test to notice the knowledge about the writing before and after the implementation. Yes, we use the teacher journal and a feedback survey that were applied at the end of each implementation with the idea to improve the following implementation. And the picture here is the evidence of an essay written in Microsoft Word. And this is an evidence that the written production of students was successfully.
Okay, partial conclusions. At the moment, we are not analyzing data. In this process, we have realized an improvement in their essays because they are using a structure and connectors. There is another aspect related to the critical thinking because their topics change if we make a comparison between the first application and the last one. The most important is that they spread having learned how to write essays. And that was very important for us because despite the quarantine, the implementation could be carried out without any problem. And here you have the references
that we use. And it's time to questions and
answers, right?
Okay. Great presentation, ladies. Thank you so much. It's for me an honor being your thesis advisor. You have done a great work so far. Okay, so we have some questions here. The first question is, yes. What was the biggest challenge you faced with your implementation?
Maybe the biggest challenge was the change related to the interaction with the students because of the pandemic situation and lockdown situation, since we have to face working with the students without a face-to-face contact, and that aspect changed the experience during the applications.
Okay, my dear, thank you so much. Another question, why did you decide to work with undergraduate students?
well, because we made some teacher interviews before started with this research, and into that interviews our teachers say that reading skill is not having a good relevance, and also we were at that level too. We were at that level, the undergraduate too, and we noticed the lack of the reading skill a lot.
Reading or writing?
Writing.
Sorry.
Okay, very good. What has been the impact of your project?
As we told, right now we still don't have a complete analysis because the research has not finished. But during the activities, we saw a positive response. In HSA, we realized they were using connectors, they were using a structure, and the most important, they told us they learned how to organize their ideas in a correct way. So we suppose the impact is going to be positive, and in order to teach how to organize their ideas in this level.
Okay, and the last question is, what recommendations would you give to other pre-service teachers working on similar topics?
Okay, that's difficult because I can say try to delimit as much as possible the aspects to work on any topic you wish to work on, because that will be the skeleton of all the research. So you need to be specific in order to complete and get the objectives.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, ladies. And we are very pleased listening to undergraduate students presenting their projects, especially because they are making changes. It was very interesting to see the app that Nicolas has been working on. And also he's working with a couple of students that belong to our semillero. And this project that students are carrying out is precisely with undergraduate students, which is something a little bit different from the common projects, because it's like how to improve something they were like in before. Okay, so it's very, very interesting to see this. So thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, Nicolas. Okay.
And have a good night. Bye-bye.
Okay, and Professor Sandra Palencia.
Okay, thank you. All right, I was going to share my screen, but apparently I can't. Well, I just wanted to remind you that we will continue tomorrow. And we thank you very much for our students from the Faculty of Engineering and the Faculty of Education again. Your presentations were really insightful. Okay, don't forget, tomorrow we will meet again at 10 a.m. Let me check. And tomorrow we will have some other pre-service teachers sharing their experiences, and we will have a closing conference led by Miguel Carranza from El Salvador. So we hope to see you here. Professor Carlos Carrillo, do you want to say something?
Well, thank you, Professor Sandra Palencia, and Professor Clara Nata, to Joanna, to Daniela, and to Nicolas. It's been incredible being here, listening to you. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow at 10.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.